Here's how I built an AI agent that handles over 300 phone calls every single day for a campground, so you don't miss a single booking anymore. This agent takes phone calls 24/7, it checks for availability, makes bookings on autopilot, it can answer every FAQ and even checks the weather for guests that ask. In this video, I'm going to show you first of all a live demo of what this agent sounds like. Second, I'll show you a full walkthrough of how to build it, including the tech stack I used, the prompts that make it sound shockingly human, the security measures we put into place to avoid hallucinations and expensive mistakes. And lastly, I'll give you a cost breakdown so you can decide if this is actually a smart move to make in 2025 or if it's just the next overhyped AI thing. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. My name's Liam. I help businesses all over the world to implement advanced AI phone solutions. So if you'd like to explore how we can do the same for your business, just use the first link down below to book a free AI consultation call. I look forward to hearing from you, and now let's dive into the video. Alright, so for this solution, we're going to be using Vappy, Make.com, and I've also made a pretend CRM here in Google Sheets. Now for our clients, we actually do integrate this with their normal booking software, of course, so Google Sheets in this case is just an example. That being said, let's give this thing a call.
Welcome to the Grand Campground Geneva. My name is Kate. How can I help you today?
Hi Kate, so could you tell me what your check-in and check-out times are, please?
Certainly. Our check-in time is from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. and check-out is by 11 a.m. A late checkout until 4 p.m. is possible for an additional
Okay,
€10.
and what if, sorry
subject
for interrupting by the way, but what if I just walk in? Is that also possible?
No problem at all. Yes, walk-ins are welcome, but availability cannot be guaranteed. It's always best to book in advance to ensure you have
Okay,
a spot.
and do you also offer
you
like
have
activities or events?
Yes, we have a variety of activities and events throughout the week. We have Monday movie nights, Saturday live music by the lake, and morning yoga sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m.
God, you sound so human.
Is there
It's
anything
freakish.
specific you're-
It's amazing. Let's go ahead and just book a camping site, please.
Great. Would you like a tent place, a camper van place, or a camper van plus tent place?
Let's go with just a tent, actually. And I'll also bring my dog, if that's all right.
Sure, we have pet-friendly tent places available. What dates would you like to stay between?
Dates, let's go maybe between the 16th and the 18th. Would that work? This won't work, but it'll offer me some alternatives, actually.
It looks like the dates you requested are not available. However, we do have availability from May 18th to May 20th for the same number of nights.
Okay.
Would you like to book
Yeah,
those
let's
dates
do that.
instead?
That works as well, actually. Sure.
Great. So to confirm, you'd like a pet-friendly tent place from May 18th to May 20th. The total cost will be €50. Could you please provide your first and last name?
Sure, that's Liam Parker.
Thank you, Liam Parker. Could you also provide your email address so I can confirm the booking?
Sure.
I'll spell it back to ensure it's accurate.
Yeah, this one's a bit tricky, but just bear with me. So it's vant.solutions@gmail.com. And Vant, the first part is spelled VAANT dot and then solutions@gmail.com.
Got it. So it's VAANINT .solutions@gmail.com. Is that correct?
No, it's actually VAANT and then .solutions@gmail.com.
Thank you for your patience, Liam. So to confirm, your email address is VAANT.solutions@gmail.com. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, you got that.
Your booking has been successfully completed, Liam. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. If there's anything else you need, feel free to reach out.
Could you
Thank you so
actually
much for calling the Grand Camp.
actually could you check what the weather would be like for my stay?
Of course. Just to confirm, you'd like to know the weather from May 18th to May 20th.
Yeah, that'd
correct?
be great. That'd be great.
From May 18th to May 19th, you can expect clear skies with temperatures ranging from 7 to 23 degrees Celsius. On May 20th, there will be moderate rain with temperatures around 16 degrees Celsius and significant cloud cover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. That's fine. I'll come anyway. I have a waterproof tent, so that works. Okay, thanks for your time, and I'll see you soon. Okay, now that you've heard what this sounds and feels like, let me share with you first of all what the price for one of these would be. Of course, this is just an estimate based on an example company, and it really ranges on how many calls you get and what the company and agency charges to set one of these up. But you'll at least have a rough idea of the investment that you would make and can decide for yourself if this is a worthwhile investment or not. I'll share the benefits with you over here on the right, and then I'll do a complete walkthrough, start to finish, on the system that I built that I just showcased. So first of all, just so you know, the company that I was working with gets around 300 calls per day, and they're paying their average receptionist around 4,000 euros a month. Now, to answer 300 calls, you need more than one person, right? One person cannot handle 300 calls. In this case, they were actually, I think they were using 3 or 4, but to be really conservative, let's just work with 2. So say you had 2 amazing receptionists that could handle 150 calls each every single day, you would only pay them around 8,000 euros every single month. Now, the AI has a cost per minute, a price per minute here. And this ranges on a few things. This depends on a few things. So first of all, it comes down to the skill of the agency that you're working with. Shorter and more precise prompts lead to significantly, like 11 cents is the, I think, the minimum that we've ever been able to get it to. And the maximum, I would say, is around 15 cents. That's what you can expect. Anything over this, and even at 15 cents, there's a lot of optimization that can be done. And it might not seem like a lot, but especially at scale, these couple cents make a lot of difference. So choose wisely who you decide to hire for these things. So this company had 300 calls a day, and the average call, it depends, right? If you're making a booking, it might be 5 minutes. If you've just got a quick question, it might be 30 seconds. Let's once again be conservative here and say that the average call is 3 minutes. That would mean, quick maths, that you get an AI cost of around 3,000 euros, or dollars in this case, per month. And this might seem like a lot, and it is a lot of money, right? No question. But let me share with you what this means for you on a yearly basis. So this is a lot of numbers, but just bear with me. So on the left column here, we have the price without AI, right? For every single month of the year. And let's say you only kept this for 1 year, you would pay normally without AI 8 grand every single month, minimum, right? With AI, you can see there's 2 parts. There's a setup fee, and then there's the 3,000 that we just talked about. The setup fee in this case will be around 10,000 euros. And this really depends on the complexity of the solution. It also depends on the scale of the operation. And it also depends on, the agency that you're working with and how much they want to charge. But around 10K for an operation this size is a solid average. Once again. Now, next on the right here, I have worked out the savings, the cumulative savings for every month, and they add up over time. So at the top, you can see first month, you're losing 2,000 euro because the setup fee is more than what you'd usually pay. But on the second month already, you're starting to make money with this. And it adds up more and more and more. And as you can see, at the end, just after keeping this for 1 year, you've already saved close to 60,000 euros in this case. And this is pretty amazing because I want to share with you the benefits as well. It's not like you're just saving money and giving your customers worse service. No, you actually get better service and you get paid for having better service. Let me explain what I mean. So basically the benefits over a human, first of all, I've got to say, they sound pretty realistic, right? And as you heard from the demo, a lot of people, you can listen back to the calls, a lot of people don't even notice. One thing that I do always do though, if somebody asks, are you an AI? Then I say, yeah, put in the prompt, sure, tell them that you're an AI, right? I like to be honest about those things. And honestly, nobody has ever complained, ever. Because at the end of the day, it's not like they're trying to make a new friend, right? It is an interaction that, sure, it's always nice to talk to humans, but at the end of the day, people just want something done, they want it fast, and they don't want to wait. And that's exactly what AI does. So in a nutshell, there's literally no on-hold time anymore. It's gone. Like there is no wait time anymore. It doesn't exist because AI doesn't only do this 24/7, but it can also do more than 10 calls at once. And you can increase this to increase it to hundreds if you want, right? Costs a bit more, of course, but 10 calls at once is the standard that you get for free. And that's pretty amazing to me because no human can handle more than one call at once. Plus, it's also never rushed or stressed, right? Humans can get stressed, and AI always takes the time to talk and to explain and to be friendly. So, as a result, you have no lost bookings and actually better customer satisfaction. And I haven't even factored into this that you would actually make money because you don't lose bookings through this either. So all in all, I hope you can see the value in this now. It is, of course, expensive, but compared to what you are saving and the benefits that you are enabling not only your staff to have, but also your customers is pretty phenomenal. So that being said, let me walk you through the solution that we built. Okay, so as you heard from me before, you will need Vappy, Make.com, and whatever CRM software you want. In Vappy, this is not going to be a full-on Vappy tutorial, right? I've made plenty of those in the past, but I'm going to walk you through the settings and briefly through the prompt. I have already made a separate video on prompting as well. I'm actually going to leave my custom GPT on prompt making in the description. You can use that to use AI to write your prompts, and it already has most of the knowledge that I'm allowed to share here publicly for free, and will get you a very, very decent prompt without you having to have crazy in-depth knowledge about prompt engineering. So check that out in the first link. There's no signups. You can just use it for free. Okay, so basically in the prompt, we've told it that is Kate. We've told it the role, in which context it works. So guests are calling in to make reservations, ask about the weather, make bookings, etc. Then we've given it step by step. And in here, what's important, I won't go through every single line, but what's important is that stuff like email address, spell it back letter by letter to confirm. This is so important because imagine if this AI just misunderstands one letter, tries to send the email, and the email just doesn't arrive and you lose the booking. Right? It can, of course, happen to a human too, but you can prevent this. And as you heard in the demo, it spells the email back letter by letter and gets the email right pretty much every single time. Now, another thing that's quite good is I ask it to, let me find this, repeat all the information back to the guest. And this is great because, before it checks for the wrong dates and before it maybe uses the wrong phone number or email, it's just another step in between to help you avoid any errors or hallucinations from the AI part. Next, we of course have escalation, which means it can transfer to a human. I'll show you how to set that up in a moment. We told it to pronounce specific things in certain ways, like numbers digit by digit, or euro as euro, or at as at. Just little things that you learn over time. Given it some examples. Also, the current time is really important. Don't forget to add this. Because otherwise, if you say, can I book something for tomorrow? The AI might still think you're in 2023, because that's the data that this model has been trained on. Okay, so that's basically it. Won't go too deep into this, but you get the idea. Give it a very solid prompt with a lot of testing. Next, for the voice, I'm using Vappy's Kylie. This is a new one that came out. It sounds pretty good, to be honest. And in case you're interested in my voice settings, the start speaking plan we're using is like this. I won't go too deep into this, but you can copy the settings if you like. And the stop speaking plan is like this. Feel free to copy. Okay, so how do we get this thing to actually do stuff, right? Because we don't just want it to chit-chat, we want it to actually perform valuable actions. Well, there's 4 different things that it can do. And that's where this Make.com workflow comes in. And as you can see, it's nicely branched out. So at the top, we have check for availability. In the middle, we have book. And at the bottom, we have check weather. And how do you connect this thing to the agent, and how does this even work? So you connect this to the agent by creating a tool in here. And for example, for the check availability, you call it check availability, give it a description of when to use this tool, and then you add parameters. And they are things like the check-in date, the checkout date. I've told it to format it in a specific way. And these are things that the AI extracts from the conversation. When it hears, let's make a booking, it has to gather all of these things first. Once it knows these, it's allowed to send data to this URL. And that URL conveniently is this one right here. It's the exact same one. So when that goes through here, we have filters set up. So the filters are, in this case, the name of the function is check availability. And as you can see here, you have to spell it exactly like this. That is the exact name. And we do this for the same for booking, right? We add more parameters here. We add this for the weather. And this is just basically a way to get the AI to send things to, in this case, make.com. So what happens when somebody checks for availability? Well, we first of all search through this Google Sheet, and the sheet name is the The sheet name is the site type, which is either, campers, campers with pets, camper and tents with pets, tents or tents with pets. And of course, Google Sheets once again is just a duct tape kind of solution. Usually, it's actually a lot easier, at least on my side, to integrate with a proper CRM because I don't need to do this workaround. But in this case, you get the idea, right? It searches for the sheet name with, for example, in our case, tents with pets, and then it aggregates that. We actually set the check-in and check-out dates, format them into the right time, and then we send this into an AI module telling it, please check if the check-in and check-out dates are available. And available in our case was just, for example, here there are four sites available, 23 sites available, or 0 sites available. And that's what I showcased in the example. From 15 to 19, one date wasn't available. So what it did is it suggested another date range, and calculates the total price to give to the caller. And then it sends this back to the AI, which can then say, okay, I checked and it isn't available, but we have this available. Would you like to book? If the caller wants to book, it uses the book tool and makes sure that it extracts all of these. And once that's done, it adds a row in Google Sheets here at the back with the booking details, as you can see. It just basically adds them. Usually you would put this into the CRM differently, but I think you get the idea that you can use the extracted information and send it to different softwares. Then here we got ChatGPT to write an email, which is great because personalized emails, once again, not like a generic confirmation email. We send that to the email address that was also sent across, and then we let the AI know booking is successful, you should receive a confirmation email. And the same for the weather, right? AI checks the weather, and instead of you having to look through the weather report and first of all understand this thing extracts everything. It gets the humidity, it gets the fog levels. It's a bit overkill, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. AI writes a response and sends it back and saves you a bunch of time. And the thing that actually saves the most time is the information tool. And this is actually basically what we've done is you upload a file in here. You take the file ID, you create a query tool, tell it when to use the tool, and then add the file ID down here. And now you can give that tool to the agent, and you assign them by just checking the tools that you want it to use here. And now what it can do is it can search through the knowledge base, which is in our case just a Google Doc. And it can search through and answer questions. And in here you just put an FAQ or directions or info that you want this AI to know, and it's already able to answer like one of your staff. And just imagine how much time this saves. I'm just blown away every single time, even though I work with this every single day. It does not get boring. And that, in essence, is already what this AI does. And the clever part about this is, of course, this is not just ChatGPT, right? It is not just a workflow. This is an agent with tools that it can decide. It makes the decision, when do I use these tools and how do I use them to best accomplish a task? And it's just very exciting. I'm very blessed to be allowed to work in this space and help so many other people out and see the impact it has on their businesses. It's truly amazing, I've got to say. Yeah. All right, so sentimental journeys aside, I hope that you got some value from this video and were able to see how AI agents can be used securely in a real-world use case to actually save you a lot of time and money. And once again, if you would like to explore how we can build something similar like this for your business, you can use the first link down below where we're offering free AI consultation calls. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next one.